So Microsoft 4Afrika has created an app factory model. It stands for Apprenticeship Factory Model, about 2 years ago. By now we have 16 app factories across the African continent, 2 of them in Kenya. We just announced the one here in Nanyuki. The basic idea is very straightforward. The industry everywhere is dying to get good developer talent. Technology plays a bigger role. And ironically, it is really, really hard to find young people that understand how to develop applications in a modern, effective way, including cloud computing and so forth. So what we're doing is we're using our own learnings on how to train developers very effectively, how to do digital skills, and bring that to partners that we work with so that they can do the same. It's really the hands-on approach, factory-like, to learn the skills that give you immediate employability.
And so do you have any expectations from these people that you train after the whatever period of time? What are your expectations from them? Do they need to work with Microsoft 4Afrika or Microsoft in general, or they can go ahead and start their own businesses or work for other people?
So our expectations for the graduates of the App Factory are very straightforward. We want them to either get a job or set up their own company. Obviously, they've gone through a training where they understand Microsoft technology, but that's not the point. We are happy for anybody that actually now gets a job in the industry or sets up their own company. And we are very proud that we have an employability rate of 85% and higher in what we do, and we have a few that have actually started in creating their own company as well.
So what's the main gap here? Because we are looking at academia on one side, people going to school, tertiary level, graduating, not able to find jobs because employers feel they do not have the necessary skills. What exactly are we talking about there?
Yeah, it's really interesting to look at the skills gap. Because ironically, if you look at who comes to the App Factory, a 6-month program, hands-on understanding, most of them already either have a technology degree or even a computer science degree. So what's going on? And we think it's 2 things. One is what they learn. It's unfortunately still very academic. It's still very theoretical. So they don't understand the modern tools. They don't understand how to work with the most modern platforms and so forth. The how they learn is important as well. Too often in our academic world, it's still faculty teachers. You take notes and then you. What we do in the App Factory is we introduce them to teamwork. We introduce them to understanding how to talk to customers. We introduce them to understand how to work under time pressure. So all the things that actually make them effective in their job, they learn in that approach. And what's really important is that this is bringing them to the point where they become immediately hireable or set up their own company.
And who are the partners here? Because are you looking at academic institutions? Because when you get employers, not many of them are willing to absorb a cost of training a graduate when they come so that they can fit into the kind of skill set that they are looking for.
Yeah. Because the skills gap is so important is we partner with organizations that want to partner with us. So on the one hand side, it can be a private industry, and organizations like Mawingu, what we're doing right now in Nanyuki. But we also like to partner with forward-looking academic institutions. We just 4 weeks ago, in fact, announced a partnership with US International University in Nairobi. So there would be an academic institution. We have something similar in Durban in South Africa or in Wallo University in Ethiopia. What's interesting there is, by us helping to understand academic institution, how to really train for industry demand, we in fact helping every employer who might not have the same wherewithal and the means that Microsoft has to actually get talent that is ready to be hired. So it's really, we're trying to lift all boats in the industry.
Mm-hmm. So let's look at the inspiration behind this, which is the gap in digital skills and developing of apps. How does it look across Africa, because you're operating in 16 markets right now?
The really interesting point is, although youth unemployment in Kenya and across Africa is way too high, the majority of our partners and customers tell us it is really hard to find the right talent and the right capabilities for future-proof jobs. They can be in IT, but they can be in other areas. For example, you can't really be in finance nowadays or even marketing or sales nowadays without understanding technology. So what 4Afrika, Microsoft 4Afrika has done through the App Factory or our internship program, we are closing that gap. And what's important about it is that kind of understanding of broadcast back into academia to understand how they have to change their ways, how they teach and what they teach, so that the employability and skills gap can be closed.
So let's look at the connectivity program for internet that you've been running with Mawingu here in Nanyuki, using TV whitespaces. Have the gains been realized yet? At what stage you are in now? Because we are talking about starting 5 years ago.
You need connectivity nowadays to engage with the modern technology, but also to do the training as well. So we're very happy to partner with organizations like Mawingu, which bring affordable and robust and scalable internet connectivity. And as we've heard here before, there are hundreds and hundreds of small and medium businesses around Nanyuki that they are servicing, as well as 10,000s of individuals. That's the kind of the groundswell. In this app factory, without connectivity, we can't actually bring the capabilities of cloud computing, virtual classrooms, and so forth. But Mawingu is not the only partner that we have. We have TV whitespaces connectivity projects literally across the whole African continent, because the benefits are always the same. Without affordable access, you can't reap the benefits, whether it's for business or for learning.
Mm-hmm. And at the point where we are in Africa today, what does this affordable access to internet mean? Because we are talking about enterprises coming in, we are talking about more deeper technology. Microsoft has been very active encouraging businesses to register on cloud and operate on cloud. What does it mean?
Affordable is an important term, because obviously it means something different to an enterprise versus to a small and medium and an individual. What Mawingu is particularly good is to provide connectivity to the individuals that might only have 20, 50 bobs to spare, but they still want and need connectivity, or the small and medium businesses. We have other partners, let's say Liquid Telecom would come to mind, that specialize even more on large enterprises to make sure that they have the connectivity they need. At the end of the day, they all connect to the same cloud computing capability. And one of the transformative things is the Microsoft Cloud, Azure Cloud, is the same whether you're a small shopkeeper in Nanyuki or you're a big bank and telco company in Nairobi or somewhere else. The same benefits can be reaped eventually. And that's the kind of transformative part that we get. And to make it even more viable, Microsoft is the first company that announced data centers, cloud data centers on the African continent, which we will have in South Africa, serving the rest of Africa by the end of this calendar year.